On Your Bike, in association with Safer Roads Humber, taking cycle safety seriously.
Welcome to On Your Bike, a 6-part series where I'll be on my bike, meeting interesting locals, cyclists and attractions, as well as visiting some of the hidden spots of our region. This week I'm in Beverling, one of the largest market towns in the region, steeped in history with lovely cobbled streets, a majestic minster and a thriving cafe culture. The town was originally known as Inda and was founded around 700 AD by St John of Beverling during the time of the Anglian Kingdom of Northumbria. So here I am enjoying a delicious breakfast and a cup of Earl Grey at this delightful cafe in Beverley, especially for cyclists. Now as you can see, it's a cool little hub, great atmosphere, serves amazing coffee, and before I meet Gary, the cafe's owner, I'm going to tuck into my delicious poached eggs on toast. What a fantastic cafe.
Thank you very much.
How long have you been here?
Just short of 9 months.
So it's a fairly new setup then?
It is, but we've had it in the planning prior to that for about a year and a half.
I can see it's very busy this morning and it's a great atmosphere. How important would you say this cafe is to local tourism and of course cyclists coming into the town of Beverley?
With the tourists, obviously we get a lot of people from within a 50-mile radius already coming in on the bikes. Obviously Scarborough, Lincoln, Scunthorpe, Grimsby,
so they come from
far as
all
field as
over.
Manchester that have ridden here. And that's with the weather as it's been over the past 3 months, which has not been great.
Glorious weather now.
It's going to get busier and it's going to get better. So for the tourism point of view, it's going to sort of put Beverley a little bit on the map, because a cycling-themed cafe, like I said, there's not that many in the UK.
It's quite unique.
And there's a lot more cyclists every week buying bikes.
And I can see the bikes on here, bike racks. So obviously the cyclists can come into this cafe, mount the bike, and enjoy a nice latte.
We've had all sorts of bikes in. We've had tandems, obviously we can't put them on the racks. We've had kiddies bikes, we've had little scooters, anything up to sort of £10,000-15,000 bikes. And of course, if you're spending that amount of money, you want to make it safe. So what of a better way to hang it when you can actually keep your eye on it.
And what about the chopper? Do people still ride choppers?
Not really. It was a little bit of a whim that I started saving choppers about 12 years ago, and I ended up with 22 of them. My collection's down to 3 now, that being one of them. But I get a lot of comments, and the amount of people that we see walking by, stopping, having a double take, walking backwards, coming in and saying, I used to have one of those.
Tell me one fantastic thing about cycling.
It's good for your health. It's great to meet new people. There are lots of clubs around now whereby you can sort of meet other people. The government are behind it, and it's a great way of losing weight. The amount of people that have come in here and actually been on a bit of a health kick,
myself.
And within 3 or 4 weeks they've lost a stone and a half. So
I'll have to take it up then.
Absolutely.
Get for my holiday in the summer.
You don't need
I
to
do.
anyway.
Well concealed. And tell me one fantastic thing about Beverley. It's a great town.
It's a fantastic market town.
Us.
It's just on the Wolds. Some great cycling roads at Beverley Westwood and then beyond all to the villages. There's a fantastic minster. We're looking out at St Mary's. It's not too far from the ferry terminal.
Close to Hull, of course. City of Culture. Thank you very much. I'll carry on my cup of tea.
Yeah, enjoy.
Thank you.
Beverling was once a notable wool trading town and occupied the title of being the 10th largest town in England at the time. Things have changed a little since then, of course. The Royal Bank of Scotland named Beverling as the best place to live in the UK in 2007 as part of their affordable affluence study, so it certainly has a lot to attract both tourists and cyclists to the town. Beverling is home to many cycling groups, including the East Yorkshire Cyclists Touring Club.
The group is one of the largest national cycling groups with some 67,000 members. The group organise 3 rides each Sunday to cater for different preferences for their members. These are all day rides with a leader who keeps the group together safely. The club is 90 years old this year. I'm meeting Eric Crowther, the club's chairman, who's a bit of an expert when it comes to cycling. Eric, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for coming along on this beautiful spring morning to tell me about your club.
Yes.
How long have you been a member?
I've been a member for something like 15, 16 years. I became a cyclist when I retired, and I've enjoyed the company of some really nice people in CTC.
It's a national organisation, is that correct?
Well, CTC, the Cyclist Touring Club, is a national organisation that's been around for a very long time, and it's one of the biggest cycling organisations and speaks on behalf of all sorts of cyclists on national measures, you know, national concerns.
And what's the age range of your members, Eric, within the club? Does it vary, or is there a specific age group?
Going back a long time, we had a lot more young members than we do now, and I think the lack of new young members is largely due to concerns of parents about the condition of the roads and how dangerous it is. It isn't as dangerous as it looks.
So I suppose if you're quite a competent cyclist,
so it doesn't need to be that dangerous or dangerous.
You can cycle safely.
Yeah.
I'm about to head off to St Mary's Church in Beverley, but before I do, just a little bit of expert opinion from yourself, if that's okay. What do you think to this bike?
Well, I think that's a very handsome bike, isn't it?
Handsome.
Yes,
it's a very good word.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll enjoy riding it. It's not the sort of bike that we would encourage people to come out on Sunday rides.
Okay.
Because it doesn't have mud guards.
Right.
So that the next person in the line when you're riding along would get pretty wet. So
splattered in mud.
We'd have to send you to the back.
Okay. I don't mind being at the back.
It's a nice fair weather bike anyway. And so we would have, if you're going to keep it,
yes,
I would put some mud guards.
Mud guards on. Well, I'm going to hop back on my bike now.
Okay.
Make sure I've got my helmet.
Yes.
And no doubt I may see you one Sunday in your club.
We would feel upset if we didn't. Yeah, I think
that's good.
Yeah,
that's
you know
good.
Where we are.
Most people know Beverley for the Minster and the fantastic view as you approach the town. There's been a church on that site since the 9th century AD. But this is St Mary's Church, and if you're a literary person, then you might already know. It's often thought to be where Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland, was inspired to create the White Rabbit after seeing the carvings inside. I'm going to take a look inside this beautiful church, which is steeped in history. Becky.
Hello, welcome to St Mary's.
Thank you very much for letting us come along.
No, it's lovely to see you.
This church is absolutely stunning.
I know, we're very lucky to have a church of this magnitude and order in Beverley, and to have two, the Minster and St Mary's, is just extraordinary. But too often people miss it, because they go down to the Minster and they forget St Mary's is there.
Well, we haven't forgotten about it, because it's got a beautiful history, fabulous architecture. What is its history, St Mary's Church?
Well, it was started in 1120, so it's pretty old, 900 years old, and it was started as a response, really, to what was a monastic foundation at the Minster. The people of Beverley wanted to have their own church that was free from the church authorities a little bit, and they went off and built it, and so we have this extraordinary building here.
And I believe, Becky, the church has links to Lewis Carroll's famous Alice in Wonderland. The White Rabbit is nestled somewhere in this church. I have spotted it. What's the history behind that?
Well, the carving is very old. It's kind of 1300s probably. That's when other parts of the church were done. And so obviously it wasn't The rabbit didn't follow Lewis Carroll. It was here to start with. But when Lewis Carroll had family round here, and of course he himself was connected with the church, it's very, very likely that he came here. And he sent his artist, a man called Tenniel, around looking for places to draw to back up the story that he'd written. And there is what looks like very good evidence that the picture that Tenniel drew is almost an exact replica of our rabbit.
And as I've walked around your beautiful church, I've noticed a lot of the masonry is crumbling both inside and out.
Yeah, our church building is very old. It's very, very loved, and there's been a lot of energy and care around it. It's a really thriving church community we have, but it's still a very old building, and it's built of magnesium limestone, which is very hard to get hold of. The restoration that needs doing is throughout the building,
Right.
so it's massive. So our architect has quoted something like £5 million.
How can people donate then?
Well, they can go to our website. We've got a website, and there's a donation link through there. They can write to us. Best still, come and visit church, pick up a blue envelope and put a few pounds in it.
Well, beautiful buildings like this, Becky, need to be preserved for everyone to enjoy. So good luck with your restoration appeal, and long may St Mary's Church be a wonderful part of Beverley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Join me in part 2, where I'll be having a flutter on the horses, sampling some delicious chocolate, and enjoying the great British tradition of fish and chips.
On Your Bike in association with Safer Roads Humber, taking road safety seriously.
On Your Bike in association with Safer Roads Humber, taking road safety seriously.
Before I continue my ride around Beverley to look at some of the other lovely places here, I fancy a bit of chocolate, and I know just the place.
Tucked away near the Saturday market, White Rabbit Chocolatiers opened their doors in December 2004. The company has gone from strength to strength over the years, gaining 13 national awards, being named the third best place in Britain to buy Easter eggs, and being nominated for a Golden Fork Award. Keeping in tradition with the town's history, the company's name is borrowed from St Mary's Church, and the White Rabbit has inspired some of the shop's most popular chocolate creations.
Sally.
Yes.
This is a chocoholic's paradise. Some of the chocolates you have look absolutely exquisite.
Oh, thank you very much.
Tell me the concepts behind your fabulous establishment. What was the reason behind setting it up?
Well, I suppose it goes back to childhood. My godmother had a sweet shop, and I used to go and stay with her in the summer, and I loved the atmosphere there. So I took just the chocolate idea and tried to set up a little emporium. That's what I did.
Great word, it is an
yes,
emporium.
a little chocolate emporium, and I asked the church if they would allow me to use the name.
Because the name obviously
White
comes from
Rabbit.
the St Mary's Church,
That's right,
which is
yes,
famous for the
that's
White
right.
Rabbits
Exactly.
in the church.
And I thought that would make a really nice link.
Yes.
Sort of quirky, individual, and of course rabbits, synonymous with spring and chocolate in Easter time and so on.
And I believe we're going to go make some chocolate now.
You are?
In your
yes.
chocolate factory.
In my little, well, I wouldn't call it a factory, it's my little workshop.
A bespoke workshop.
Yes, my little kitchen.
And my sweet tooth is twitching.
All right, okay.
My sweet tooth is twitching.
Very good. Right, let's go.
Let's go.
Wandered round, took no notice of anything. Gotta climb these walls. Knock, knock, knock 'em down. Knock, knock, knock 'em down. Now I see for miles.
Thank you for letting me make this chocolate in your wonderful chocolate emporium, because it is a chocolate emporium.
It is.
A bespoke
indeed.
chocolate
Yes,
emporium.
yes,
and I'm
indeed.
going to take this now
Yes.
on my cycle ride
Oh, very good.
around Beverley. I grew up in this area, and a real treat when we were kids was to spend the day out on the Westwood with a picnic as a family. Now, to get there from here, we need to cycle through the North Bar.
Now, in the early medieval period, the town of Beverley was not walled. A great ditch, later called Bar Dyke, had been built on the west side of the town by 1169. By the 13th century, there was a handful of formal gateways to the town, and of course one of these was North Bar.
In 1322, Beverley petitioned Parliament for a protective town wall. This was as a result of the Scots attacking the town during the Wars of Scottish Independence. Other than the simple gates and ditches, the town was undefended.
Now, at the beginning of the 15th century, during the reign of Henry IV, England's political status remained unstable, and further steps were taken to improve Beverley's defences. The town council had North Bar rebuilt in brick in 1409, and those coming into the town from outlying areas to trade had to pay a toll.
Now, depending on which side you're standing, it's North Bar within, meaning inside the gate, or North Bar without, meaning outside the gate.
I'm heading out of the bar now on my bike again to see the stunning Westwood and onto Beverley Racecourse, which has been a part of the town for over 300 years and hosts flat racing from April through to September every year. The racecourse is home to some of the UK's most anticipated races, and along with the famous Journal Ladies' Day, these popular events have helped the business win national recognition.
Sally, a horsing enthusiast or a casual racegoer, there's something for everyone at Beverley Racecourse.
There is. I mean, it's just a lovely place to visit. It doesn't matter if you're the biggest form expert in the world or if you just like to come people watching. Great place to visit.
And it's steeped in about 300 years of history. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
It is, yeah. Horse racing has been in Beverley for, as you say, over 300 years. It was about the early 1900s that they got themselves a bit more organised and racing on its current site as it is, and they decided to put up some grandstands and charge people to come along and watch. But the town itself has always been a big horse racing place. Over the years, lots of big trainers and breeders have been based here, so yeah, it's very much steeped in history. We attract over 100,000 people to the races each year, and they come from nationwide. And it's always, interesting to hear when people come up from down south. They love the place, they love visiting Beverley. So it's great for hotels, restaurants, taxi firms, hairdressers. It's a really valuable part of the local economy.
So it's a thriving hub.
It is, yes. Yeah.
And Ladies' Day, that's one of your key events.
It is, the Journal Ladies' Day.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, there's no more colourful day on the Westwood than the Journal Ladies' Day. Everyone loves an opportunity to get dressed up, and the ladies really, take it to heart, and it's probably the biggest social occasion in the area.
Is it just a race course? Do you have other events? What happen here? What are non-race related, Sally?
We do. We only race 19 days each year, so it's a long year, and there's lots of other things going on at the racecourse. Probably one of the biggest events would be the Beverley Folk Festival in June, that's been here for a few years now. And I mean, that's a great eclectic mix of people, music, comedy, you name it going on. It's a lovely, relaxed few days. And again, it's a great place to come and visit. It's a real occasion.
Sally, can you tell me one fantastic thing about Beverley, this glorious town?
I think it's the fact that it's such an unusual place. We're right on the side of great industry down in Hull. And yet, there's this very small corner of England that is as green as can be, with beautiful landmarks like the Minster, like the racecourse. And it's just a real mixture of everything you could ask for.
One fantastic thing about cycling.
I have to say, when it comes to riding bikes, I'm a bit more better at riding horses. But it's a similar type thing, because you can go off the beaten track and you can see things that you just don't get to see when you're a passenger in a car. So, yeah, the freedom that it gives you, it's open to everyone.
Well, all this talk of horses has made me feel like I need a little bit of a flutter.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Today is one of the many horse races that take place throughout the year. It's full of action and certainly full of excitement.
Well, this didn't give me any luck today, but it has given me a bit of an appetite.
As well as being a renowned racecourse, the venue also offers a unique atmosphere and luxurious facilities. Visitors can sip champagne, indulge in a 3-course meal, or even enjoy a picnic right in the heart of the racing action.
But if the sound of a 3-course meal or a picnic isn't quite your thing, then Beverley is home to a whole host of that great British tradition, the fish and chip shop. Harper's opened its first takeaway in Wetwang in 1996. The business has expanded to 10 outlets since then, spanning North and East Yorkshire, and has a well-deserved reputation for serving quality fish and chips.
The Beverley branch has been serving the people of Beverley and many cyclists for the past 2 years. I'm going to hop inside now and meet Tom Mitchell and hopefully enjoy some fish and chips. Tom, what makes fish and chips so great?
Probably fish and chips are one of the most recognisable British dishes out there, and when they're done right they can be amazing. I think quality, fresh ingredients, simply prepared and fried with care, couple that with good service, and I think you're onto a winner.
Onto a winner. Very popular in Beverley, I would imagine, fish and chips?
Certainly, yeah. It's a traditional area, and fish and chips is a traditional dish. Yeah, so we're using sustainably caught chunky white fish. We're using our special recipe batter and beef dripping. Everything's cooked in beef dripping, and that's what gives it its traditional taste.
Okay. And always with salt and vinegar?
It has to be, doesn't it?
Everlasting vinegar?
Yeah.
What's the methodology behind that? What's the reason behind that?
So the everlasting vinegar is a product that we sell at Harper's, which is you buy the bottle, comes with the vinegar,
okay,
and then every time you come back, you can fill it up for free, and it just you never pay for vinegar again.
Because Harper's is quite a well-known fish and chip shop in the local area.
Yeah,
I remember going to Harper's
across Yorkshire, yeah.
When I was a wee boy, which was many moons ago.
So yeah, like you said, Wetwang, Harper's was founded at Wetwang, which is a small village in East Yorkshire. That was back in 2001 by Paul and his wife Debbie. Since then we've expanded out, we've covered the whole of Yorkshire now with 10 branches. Wow. We've got small village takeaways and family friendly restaurants.
So you've got restaurants as well where people come in naturally?
Yeah.
Tom, thank you very much indeed for these fish and chips.
Thank you.
Chips are amazing. I hope the fish taste as good as well. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
The clock ticks slowly faster and we'll ever know joyful or lonely one way all of this will go. People in buttoned coats, they walk alone down these streets, they don't miss a beat. The clock ticks slowly faster and we'll ever know joyful or lonely one.
If you've been inspired to get on your bike and want some tips and advice on winding in the countryside, you can download the free mobile app Cycle Yorkshire Ride the Routes. And you can check out our website estuary.tv/on-your-bike for more details.
Join me next time, where I'll be on my bike stopping off in the city of culture, Hull, enjoying a pint or two in some of the city's most historic alehouses, ensuring my bike is safe and secure from theft, and meeting a disabled cycling group.
That's all from the cobbled streets of Beverley. Until next time, safe cycling.
I'm looking at the car and the cyclist on my right, covering my brakes.
On Your Bike, in association with Safer Roads Humber, taking cycle safety seriously.